GameStop's definitely been a company that we've thrown a lot of shade at, and most of the time it's deserved. I think that criticizing companies when they've done something wrong is perfectly fine. But to see GameStop being one of the most discussed topics on social media, not just by gamers, but by a whole freaking country, is truly baffling. A company who we thought was on the verge of closing now is getting a lot of attention, and it's not all good attention, but like most companies say, any press, even bad press, is still free press. So I wanted to read this Bounding into Comics article because it is jam-packed with information about the current GameStop stock situation. GameStop stock revolution strikes fear into the heart of Wall Street as tech giants censor retail investors. Absolutely no one could have predicted the GameStop, whose previous monetary benefit to customers amounted to nothing more than about 5% trade-in value on brand new releases, would become the driving force for an economic revolution. Prior to the events of the past week, GameStop had been in terrible condition, struggling to survive in an ever-changing retail environment. After posting nearly 5 straight years of losses, big yikes for me, led primarily by a shift in focus towards digital video game distribution methods, many consumers considered it just a matter of time before the video game turned pop culture merchandise-centric retailer shuttered its doors for good. Now, I've talked about this a couple of times, but it's a pretty unfortunate situation that they've struggled so much because even though they have some pretty shitty policies that I think a lot of us really hate, I think that they're still very important to the gaming industry since they're the only chain dedicated to games. But then again, their stores, at least in my area, have gone super downhill lately and have like no good inventory, so they weren't even offering that much for gamers. Beginning on January 13th, following the cancellation of a presentation by Citron Research in which the firm was expected to argue in favor of selling company stock, investors turned out en masse to buy up GameStop shares in an effort to drive up their value. GameStop shares ended the day with a value of $31.40, an over 50% increase from the previous day's close of $19.95. Driven largely by the Reddit community Wall Street Bets, who, as their name suggests, gamble on various instances of stock market activity, GameStop's surge in valuation continued throughout the following days. This situation, looking from the outside in, has been so amazing. It has been so hilarious. It has been filled with its ups, and it's definitely been filled with its downs. I haven't invested at all in GameStop. I didn't become a millionaire overnight, but I know so many people had bought GameStop stock over the years at super low prices, hoping one day it would go up, and now it's definitely paying off for them. As of writing, following the close of after-hours markets on January 28th, the shares in the company currently sit at $311.27 in value. Discovering that the company had an overwhelming amount of puts taken out against it by various Wall Street hedge funds, GameStop was, aside from its potential for profit, chosen as a short squeeze target by retail investors in order to strike a financial blow to the financial institutions that many believed had taken advantage of the average American citizen. And strike a blow it did. As GameStop's stock price started to rise and the potential put profits of said hedge funds began to plummet, Wall Street executives began to take notice. Hedge fund Melvin Capital Management, who had to close out its GameStop puts, was forced to amass nearly $3 billion in funding, definitely a couple of dollars, in order to rescue itself from financial straits. Another capital, a $3.5 billion stock hedge fund, saw a similar loss of roughly 33%. Gamers rise up. Another hedge fund manager, Leon Cooperman, took to CNBC to exclaim that the reason the market is doing what it's doing is people are sitting at home getting their checks from the government. Okay, this is fair share It's a bullshit concept. I think that it is absolutely hilarious that people have come together and done this. I know that it's ultimately about profit and making money. I mean, we live in a world ran by a freaking dollar sign, but hundreds of thousands of people coming together to say, screw the rich playing the games, we want to play the games, is just great to see. But what isn't great is how the people doing this are now being unfairly targeted. Discord servers are being shut down, Twitter accounts are being locked and banned. It is absolutely disgusting. The establishments don't want people to be able to organize because this shows when average people come together, they can overcome the odds, and that is not something the establishment wants. It says, however, as retail investors continue to profit from their surprise campaign, numerous tech platforms sought to actively stifle their efforts to converse and invest. Now, we hear all of the time about big tech censoring their users, trying to control what speech is out there, who can organize and who can't. They have spent years deplatforming whoever they want and using hate speech as an excuse to control speech on their platforms, which clearly is a lie, and they're doing it right here again, right in front of us. This is more proof that Section 230 clearly isn't working. Discord was the first to take action against those engaged in the GameStop run-up, shutting down the official Wall Street Bets Discord server on January 27th. Today, we decided to remove the server and its owners from Discord for continuing to allow hateful and discriminatory content after repeated warnings, read a statement provided by Discord. I bet if none of this happened, this server would still be up. This server got magically taken down, and Discord's just trying to save their asses by giving whatever excuse they can. To be clear, we did not ban this server due to financial fraud related to GameStop or other stocks. Discord welcomes a broad variety of personal finance discussion, from investment clubs and day traders to college students and professional finance investors. Okay, Discord, sure you do. Discord is one of those companies that censors people that they don't like and anyone that doesn't agree with their political leanings. Several trading platforms, including Robinhood and Webull, followed suit by outright restricting the trade of certain stocks, including those mentioned above, under the auspices of protecting their consumers from volatile market conditions. Robinhood, arguably the most popular amateur investing app, and whose company philosophy claims to preach the virtues of democratizing finance for all, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, haha, informed their customers on Thursday morning that amid this week's extraordinary circumstances in the market, we made a tough decision today to temporarily limit buying for certain securities. As a brokerage firm, we have many financial requirements, including SEC net capital obligations and clearinghouse deposits, Robinhood wrote. Some of these requirements fluctuate based on volatility in the markets and can be substantial in the current environment, and as a result of their poor decision making, the company is now facing a class action lawsuit in the state of New York, whose initial filing alleges that Robinhood purposefully, willingly, and knowingly removed the stock GME from its trading platforms in the midst of an unprecedented stock rise, thereby depriving retail investors of the ability to invest in the open market and manipulating the open market. Now, the only thing I have to say about the class action lawsuits is good. The time that average people are playing the game, the elites want that shit shut down as fast as possible, and these companies completely deserve all of the lawsuits going their way. Do I feel bad for the millionaires not making money for the next couple of weeks? No. Do I feel bad for the tech companies who are now facing boycotts because they've decided to censor people and groups? Nope. I just hope these companies stop trying to censor and silence people and let them make profit during such uncertain times, and they get sued to hell and back. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts about the situation in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.